The man at the next table looked somehow familiar.
It's the police officers from the first game.
The waiter's stained and crumpled clothes looked as if they'd been slept in. I decided not to bother with a meal. It was a small silver flask from which the man was topping up his glass.
So he's spiking up his wine? Okay.
Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah.
Different
Are you
voice
still in the
actor.
police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
Don't you mean Paris?
I'm waiting for an acquaintance.
Bon. And you have found another. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
Jeez. He's taking it harshly.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Ouch. That's harsh.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
You don't say.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device.
Do tell.
The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
What? That sounds a lot more like a device used in a James Bond movie. He could be drinking too much.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
Not that
No,
one.
it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun.
Total
Oh,
eclipse
that's
of
very
the
dull in
sun.
comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Well, the only thing you need to know about eclipses is that something gets in front of another spatial entity and thus becomes an eclipse. That is all you need to know about them.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Really?
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
Well, that actually does kind of roundabout way of describing Andre.
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
Well, that's obvious. Keep drinking your wine. I'm just gonna acquire the flask.
I couldn't snatch the man's flask while he was looking.
I was trying to take it when he was not looking. As in drinking the wine. Go away, waiter.
The man was still looking.
Shit. We need a distraction.
It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labino.
True. Talk to the waiter and see what happens.
Oh, garçon.
Garrison.
He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate.
I guess somebody doesn't like tourists much. I wonder how I'm going to distract him. Maybe I'll show him the panties.
He wouldn't have wanted that.
I wasn't about to give it to him.
The man was still looking.
How about now?
The man was still looking.
How about now?
The man was still looking.
How about now?
The man was still looking.
Shit.
I had no place to go except back to Ubier's house. Besides, I didn't want to miss Lobino, so I decided to sit tight and wait.
Any way of distracting this man? I have an idea. Maybe I shouldn't pick up the flask. I should add something to it.
No.
Shit. Give that to him?
He wouldn't have wanted that.
Just eat the freaking worm.
I had no desire to go down into the sewers.
Not anymore. Go and explore the sewers once more and find if the secret Templar Society cave is still there. You know, old time's sake.
I had no desire.
Fine.
It was too hot to sit inside the cafe.
The waiter should just leave the bottle. I agree. I agree.
The man was still looking.
Yo, Garrison! Wanna speak with you?
Hey, you. Quoi? I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.
When is that going to happen? Never thought so. Bitch. That man can drink. I'll give him that. Oh. Coffee. Thank you.
Un café.
Thanks.
Let me guess, it's gonna be disgusting.
Do you know a guy called André Lobino?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
Well, good to know that you know who he is.
Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
Lil Dachshund?
If Ubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in
Climax.
suspicious circumstances.
I like the sound of that surname, Climax. Are you sure she was a real actress, not a certain type of an actress?
How did Ubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
Scandalous.
Why would an eminent public figure like Ubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
Don't you mean get away? When you say they get off, that gives it a totally different kind of a meaning. As in, he gets off from murder. If you know what I mean.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Look at this. A poison dart.
Ah oui, sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
Yeah, you're kinda digging your own grave here, George. How about you shut up about the poison dart?
What does that guy keep pouring out of his flask?
Absinthe.
Absinthe. I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is. Don't look at me, I didn't sell it to him.
And I thought absinthe is colored green, not red.
That's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Douche. Ah, André Lobino has arrived.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
Still calls us Georgie, huh?
I wouldn't normally call you But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
No, it's the other way around.
It was you that recommended Professor Ubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler has kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Ubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
Well, I'd say that's very
So
Mayan in
that's what all
style.
the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy. And the guy who kidnapped Nico is from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
Yep. Pretty much. And also, I like Andre's voice actor. He has that very nice style of speaking French. I mean, he drops the accent at least at the end of every sentence. The new Samsung stone. I wonder if it explodes. If we use it too much.
What do you suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Don't you mean Georgie?
Where did Nico get the stone?
It was sent to her.
From where? Who?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Smuggling, you say?
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Ubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself.
You should have said that, because we got his cousin right in our pocket.
Tell me about your friend Ubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all.
No, I don't.
Acquaintance, huh? Quite a rich of an acquaintance, I would say. You would think a slime ball like Andre would use UBA, you know, to get some finance for his own benefit.
Does Ubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
You're full of information here today, Andre, as in nothing.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
Yes, he is very amusing.
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
UBA?
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank. The Gliese Gallery.
Ooh, now you actually do have some good information for us.
Take a look at this, Andre.
It's a bank statement?
Yeah, Professor Ubier's account. 5 large cash withdrawals in the space of 3 days. All from an automatic teller in Marseille. Suspicious, isn't it?
You're even more crazy than you were before.
No, we're even more investigative than before.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Good riddance, Andre. Meanwhile...
I've had enough of your games, Kalal. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Pablo Picasso?
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's
Not
enough.
one bit.
I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
Ew, she's in trouble. Deep, deep trouble.
It was a small silver
Apparently full of absinthe. How's our coffee?
I was sure I'd asked for cream in my coffee, but he'd brought me black.
No, you just said you want a cup of coffee. You didn't say with cream or with sugar or anything. So you got what you deserved, man. Let me guess, bitter?
The coffee was very bitter and only lukewarm.
Awesome.
There was also an unpleasant coagulated lump at the bottom of the cup.
Ah, great service here. Why, I guess it's just a Frenchman who has something against American people. As they always do, huh? Alright?
That was undoubtedly the most disgusting cup of coffee I'd ever tasted in my life.
Maybe you could ask for some absinthe for it?
The man was still looking.
I wonder if there's new conversation topics with the old guy. Yes, there is.
Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, great.
When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
We made him depressed. And he's not looking. Hee absinthe is mine!
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink.
I wonder what it smells like.
Excuse me,
What?
ever heard of Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I
Climax.
don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
So was a certain kind of an actress. Well, with a name like Carol Climax, it's obvious.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
I think we should stop talking to the guy. We're making him depressed. Yes.
Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
How about the gallery? Because it's a new lead.
The Glee's gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
Absinthe is not illegal anymore, but in the 80s and 90s it was considered an illegal... well, it was not just an alcoholic drink, but it was also considered a drug. Because it does have weed in it. At least it used to. Not really sure if it's still made that way. I'll put a little weed in it. But still, it was an illegal alcoholic drink for a long time. I guess he's the owner. How would you know? He has a ponytail.
He looked like an older version of Labano. The same supercilious expression, the same disdain in his eyes, and the same damned ponytail.
Cass had a bottle of absinthe about a year ago. Didn't do much. Very mild, kind of stoned effect maybe. You probably get better stuff though. Probably.
The girls were in a world of their own.
Let me guess, they're Japanese tourists.
Hi, girls.
Hee.
What's the joke?
あなたはキレてですね。
Japanese girls. Yep.
Okay, fine.
Also, what the heck did they say?
If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico.
True.
The wasteland. Too minimalistic for too much money.
It's abstract art. You just don't understand it. Nobody understands it.
I couldn't believe it. The pots were marked at 5,000 francs each. As far as I could tell, the pots were almost identical to the one I'd found in Ubier's house.
Well, then they're very respectable art.
Looked like a witch and a headless bust. I had seen better.
At least it's not a bustless head.
Pots, pots, and more pots. All hugely expensive.
At least it's not pot, and pot. That would be illegal.
Rectangles in a desolate landscape. Highly cubist.
Also highly artistic. Very nice. It has wormwood in it. Ah, it's wormwood. Gotcha.
Spheres in a barren waste. Oh, very profound. I could see a pattern emerging in this artist's work.
Yeah. Barren and wasteland. Somebody likes Fallout.
He was a pear-shaped guy with a fine display of multiple chins.
Just like me.
He was a pear-shaped... Pots, pots... It was a machine for reading credit cards.
Anything else around here that we could take a look at? Nope. Okay. Let's talk to the stuck-up guy.
Are you Mr. Glees, the owner?
Yes, sir. May I help you?
You're English?
These days one prefers to think of oneself as European.
Sure. Whatever you say.
And how precisely may one assist you, sir?
One would address themselves as a European. You're British. That's all. Just British.
What I really wanted to ask you about was a black stone.
A black stone?
Yeah, it's a Mayan artifact, about as big as my hand.
No, sir, one doesn't get much call for black stones. If it's Mayan artifacts you're interested in, I have some rather exquisite pots.
Yeah, I noticed. I've already got one of those.
I'll show at last to him.
Who's that guy over there?
That's Mr. Lane, sir, the critic. I'm hoping he'll give the gallery a favourable write-up. One has to be so patient with these critics. Lure them in with the correct bait, watch for a bite, then play them like a fish.
Well, he's certainly drinking like one. Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Of course. His name is synonymous with Mayan art. A number of these artifacts were supplied by Ubier himself.
Cool.
Do you believe the story that Ubier murdered his wife?
If it was true, who can blame him? She was an opportunist tramp. Well, that's what I heard.
Have you seen any of Ubier's wife's films?
Only one. Believe me, I was appalled, shocked, disgusted, and repulsed.
Well, you sure got your money's worth. Last time I went to the movies, I wasn't even titillated.
But you left me irritated, aggravated, and agitated. That's a Monkey Island reference.
I suppose you have an import license for these relics?
Of course. But that's not my problem, sir. The professor arranges all the shipping. We simply collect the items from the docks.
Could you tell me which docks Professor Ubier uses to import the artifacts?
Good God, no. I can't possibly reveal my commercial secrets.
Understandable.
Do you get many Central American Indians in here?
No, sir. This is Paris. Central America is several thousand kilometers southwest of here. Straight across the Atlantic Ocean and turn left. You can't miss it.
Well, as it happens, I saw some Central American Indians this very morning.
Tourists, sir. Paris is full of them at this time of year.
Yeah, they actually do look like tourists, these guys.
I have some questions I'd like to ask about those pots.
The Mexican collection? Certainly, sir.
Where did you get them from?
Mexico, of course. I think sir will find the price extremely reasonable.
Hey, I'm not interested in buying them.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, you'll excuse me.
Oh, you're excused, all right. And also, he has very, very good balance, this British guy. Why aren't you falling over with that kind of stance? You just... I mean, seriously, that guy's just leaning so forward, I would expect him to fall if there was a breeze.
I found this news story referring to a total eclipse of the sun.
Really, sir? Well, fascinating.
Fascinating. Oh, very fascinating. Oh.
I'd like your opinion on this pot.
Interesting. Would sir be interested in selling the article?
That depends. How much would you give me for it?
300? Possible 325.
Francs?
What? Those other pots are priced at 5,000 francs each.
Yes, but this is clearly the work of an inferior, degenerated culture.
Oh!
You mean it's English?
Look, why don't you get a second opinion?
From who?
Mr. Lane, the world-renowned art critic and collector.
He's an art critic? I thought there was a carnival in town.
And they have lost their clown, apparently. So let's talk to the man, shall we? But first, we save. He's really slurping on that stuff.
You're Lane, the critic, aren't you?
Correct. Can't you see I'm busy?
Busy? Doing what?
Getting drunk.
Appreciating the art. Or depreciating it. I have a reputation to uphold.
I could tell this guy was going to be hard work. Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Yes, of course.
I was at his house earlier.
If you're going to drop names, you could at least name one worth dropping.
I thought Oubier was a well-respected man.
Why, his last book was nothing but pseudo-intellectual claptrap. The demented ramblings of a drug-dependent has-been.
Somebody's full of themselves. Then again, he's a critic.
What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glees can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
And yet you slurp it down like it was water. Not much of a good critic now, are you?
Would you give me your opinion on this pot, sir?
Let me guess, he's
Yes. Very rapouche.
gonna throw it to the ground.
Hideous.
Yep.
What the hell do you think you're doing? You smashed my pot.
Certainly, it was not only worthless, it was ugly and offensive.
To you, maybe.
Believe me, I was doing you a favor.
Are you sure about that? Anybody got a baseball bat around here? I need to smash down a pair.
What's the difference between my pot and all those other pots?
Yours is broken.
You smug, pompous sloth.
Sticks and stones, dear boy, sticks and stones.
Oh, I'll get you some sticks and stones, all right.
I wasn't going to waste any more breath talking to that pompous blimp. Maybe I could turn the situation to my advantage, and at the same time, get my revenge.
Oh, trust me, we are going to get our revenge.
A valuable relic of an ancient civilization lay smashed on the floor. The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve.
We got something for him, all right.
I didn't think he'd be interested.
Oh, come on.
The glass was half full of wine.
Are you sure it's wine? He says it's urine. Here, have some wormwood.
I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
Or a change of taste.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Gleese's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
Then drink up, my man. I got plenty of it.
Allow me.
Drink. Drink. Good for your reputation there, Blob. Well, Mr. Glees ain't looking too happy, so how about we sneak back here?
It was a sturdy packing case.
a way to sneak into the docks. Maybe.
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label. It was a sturdy pack.
Ah, there it is.
It was a label bearing a company name and logo.
Paris
Underneath
from Mars.
the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing.
Oh, come on, that's easy to tell. It's
It was
from Mars.
beginning
Let's
to
get a
make
spaceship.
sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It
But it
wasn't much
says
of a
Mars.
lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train.
It says Mars on the label, so we're going to Mars. Get yourself a spaceship and fly, man. Or maybe it's Mars, Alabama. Yeah, who knows? Actually, that would be better. Mars,
It was
Alabama.
almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
It doesn't look that desolate. It's just dark.
Next time on Broken Sword 2.
Yeah, get out of there, George.